Hello, my name is Anthony Wall. I don't know what happened to my video on my laptop. Now, if when you call the news, the Connecticut news, or when you call schools to report simple acts, they pretend they don't understand you, but that's impossible. They did that with a principal child offender before he was caught off campus anyway. There are dozens of people from my town, inter-brnach, just within the Britain Superior Court alone, and with their family members. And they want to get caught for certain types of crimes because they need to use the identity of the ground locations criminally, which they have been doing since founding, pounding drums. So they have child offender problem where they're not following. They say, oh, they don't want to ruin people's careers and stuff like that. That's baloney. They've been extorting people. They've been forging names, switching names, falsifying police reports, inter-brnach through time. They've been stealing people's identities, attaching me, other people, their kids, their family members to fake locations, fake words, fake sequence relationships, fake ties to complete strangers, and fake natures of ties to people we only know from them actually how is actually recorded, which is involved with a crime method that has lie progressions, and then it keeps people every year making confessions into that from child campuses where they have it recorded distinctly and non-distinctly sickly. Sickly distinctly to keep effectively how sickly non-distinctly from being discerned. How they have overt criminal enterprises in collusion with the courts in Hartford and in Wethersfield, distinctly, and in each city distinctly and non-distinctly and simultaneously. Now this is intercities connected from my town inter-brnach, on off the state judicial branch offices. There is a Fianza family with the road right by there, and the route that goes along there goes right through towns. They're involved with a whole bunch of people, police forms, inter-brnach, with my new and past neighbors. Also with the house next to them, other houses near them, involved with the predicate acts. Male crazy people don't even realize that though. This is also recorded how they have been using the sense and sensibilities of people where they criminally force people to speak through others because then they can use the sense and sensibilities where they hide things, where they're associated with the inter-brnach illegitimate since founding, pounding drums. You can't see that the identity of correlation about what really hurts Hartford, Connecticut, let alone every 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 location of this nation, modern nations, we're in recorded since before our founding parents' births. What prevented them free speech while they were born, which is recorded also. We have physical delusions. They have to pretend from time context where they use time too fast, two ways, and pretend it too slow, too fast, too slow, and they're going to pretend passions and emotions dishonestly. Oh, how could our founders have not had free speech if they put the Constitution up? James Madison had to counter extort everyone, had to trick everyone and force everyone to fight to put the surface value of the Constitution up, which obviously wasn't followed. That's why George Washington had to leave slavery entrenched sickly distinctly in the North and right here in this town inter-brnach then and now, still involved with inter-brnach from Wethersfield, Connecticut, throughout intercities, covering lie progressions. How that is recorded. Now I didn't try to go into details like this. I only said a few sentences. I kept real simple because I noticed how they attach you to fake words in conversations where they're forging names, switching names, having whole fake conversations with me. They have drug cliques inter-brnach with doctors through time who were spreading rumors with their kids since before those kids were doctors, with their parents still, their whole families. A whole Leahy family is involved with New Hartford campus, Hartford Hospital, with a whole bunch of other foreign and domestic families, doctors, and patients and criminals involved with them on and off the child campuses and the other natures of campuses, intercities, involved with judges retired and standing and prosecutors retired and standing involved with their drug cliques. Recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with people by people tied to them. Now, these are the people who attach me to fake conversations with themselves as a kid. They're exploiting. This is Washington, D.C., World Trade Center tied to our intercity. What is manifest intercampuses database relationships. You see how they bring up all what we're gonna their treatments of every issue has recorded their criminal foreign influences and their cover-ups and why they're pretending other and involved with it. They are worse than criminally incompetent inter-branch. Follow mandated law with them. They are making up. They're hiding it. They were through time and are through time hiding exculpatory evidences and making up inculpatory evidences. Regardless of who runs for, they have the whole election processes involved with their predicate acts delivery system method roles, which is not sourced by them, but they're the ones who use remotely by it since founding, since before electronic definitions of the word remote. So we're going to call Trantolo and Trantolo because they're also involved with WTNH and with WFSB and with Fox Connecticut News, with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and with Mueller and Comey, with further predicate acts delivery system method roles. That's very simple. Now, I didn't try to explain it like that. They lie about what I type on Facebook. They have fake Facebook pages through time pretending to be me and to others, and they're preventing counters to it. Now, they also force criminally that they speak through other people because they forge names and switch names. New Britain Superior Court, Wethersfield Police, and dozens of people associated with them and their family members, they use the crime method of forging names and switching names and of making confessions. Now that's a threat when you come to someone's house when you're involved with switching names and fabricating police reports through time. Switching sequence in and out of courts proven and further recorded. Like in the Ninth Circuit Court, right next to the World Trade Center attack, right before it, the people involved with the former director of the FBI, his co-defendants in the 2006 District Court case in Connecticut, that was before that was proven. Before what was proven was in the Ninth Circuit that someone had insidiously post-dated documents that had been time-stamped timely and handed into the court on time before a panel of judges looked at it, and it had been insidiously post-dated from inside the court to appear late. That was proven after the 9/11 attack, right before the 9/11 attack. That showed post-dated documents from inside the court to the court, the panel of judges, which the defendants and people that helped out the plaintiff are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated further involved, unrealized mostly, on off, except for the defendants, but on off, also inter-branch with them, on off Central Connecticut State University involved with predicate acts through time, intercities. Now see, they have an educational department. They have other departments, the English department, other departments distinctly, non-distinctly, and simultaneously involved with predicate acts and with wrongdoing, sequence shifts, identity thefts, and fraud. You see how putting black in the law is identity theft, identity fraud, and worse than war crimes, predicate acts delivery system method. That's worse than extortion. See, now these are evidences. It's evidence that and how George Washington was forced as a fact cheaping nature slave to leave slavery entrenched in the North and in the South sickly distinctly. It was already entrenched here. What could he do? And they were following James Madison's plan, which is our only hope. But they, instead of letting it work, they have Marbury versus Madison. I'm not a lawyer. It means real justice must satisfy all appearances of real justice. It means don't fake it and pretend you're not criminally foreign influence delusions wrought. But see, they pretend it means, oh, we have to avoid the appearance of impropriety. They're out of their minds. That doesn't. It means real justice must satisfy real justice. You sick fakes. Pick one name and sequence, and don't lie about with your passions and emotions and pretend that's pejorative. When people they lie about the reactions of people to their predicate acts forced on us. This is worse than extortion. Now we have dozens of people from the Britain Superior Court alone. I don't even know the names of, and they switch names, forge names, and then women naturally they marry people, they change their names. So it's like they have dozens and dozens of people. It becomes immediately thousands of people. Now they've been talking junk about me, forging names, switching names. That's why they had to have the news tell all those, attach me and my family to fake words, fake locations, fake ties to other people, fake natures of ties to other people. A Joshua Julian, a Joshua Stryker also involved with them with predicate acts intercities. A whole bunch of people involved intercities with the courts and with the police forms criminally involved. Former director of the FBI down. My town's police chief and people from Puerto Rico with the same last name as him, and his daughter, and his extended foreign family, foreign and domestic family, a Mazzucato, the deepest squad, I don't know them, Mazzucato. Now, they're also with the corner of Rocky Hill. There's a Mazzucato bakery in Rocky Hill, all along that Route 3 that goes by the state judicial branch offices, all along that through cities. That's in Rocky Hill, but this is in the Wethersfield. I mean, the state judicial branch offices in Wethersfield. And that route that goes by it, and the road that goes right by, the short road that goes by the state judicial branch offices, is recorded with a whole bunch of people tied to a Fienza family and Dillon family. Officer Jerry Miller also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with a whole bunch of other people like a Aiello family, that Kerr family is involved with this criminally. I barely know them. The only context I know them in is with a Judge Smith I had to write a complaint about, who was attaching me as a kid to fake locations and ties to strangers, fake words, fake, and they have a whole bunch of they have lie progressions from that further and further. Then they need to hide it worse. So they have roles with crimes on off campuses with private school kids involved with identity thefts with them. It's a certain kind of identity theft that mixes with a whole bunch of other natures of identity thefts and fraud. But falsified police reports, roles with inter-brnach pretending they're about justice when they know they are not. That is what is actually recorded. So follow mandated law for New Britain Superior Court and for the other courts. There are Middletown courts of kids, and other natures of courts are involved with the people involved further with the campuses and with the kids criminally involved, including prosecutors, male and female prosecutors. I'll demonstrate you. I'll delineate their delusions from their criminally foreign influenced souls for you here. Now, they have wire crime method where they put fake transcripts about what is recorded on the wire. No one's watching. No one's going to check them on that until now. And they've been doing this, putting fake transcripts about what happens on their police on the Britain Superior Court's location, on other courts' locations. There are sequence shifts that also reveal this. These are the same ones involved further with the Ninth Circuit in Manhattan, right next to the World Trade Center, right before it got hit, involved with the sequence shifts and other proven and further recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them. As co-defendants, a former director of the FBI in a 2006 district court case in Connecticut. Since before the World Trade Center attack, every year they have been stacking predicate acts against me to say nothing. Now they're also using time always too fast, too slow. In other words, the statute of limitations never ran out because I just sent another officer the other day involved with them forging names, switching names, coaching and influencing the people who answer the phones to pretend they don't understand people. Respond for the crimes with the kids, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. Also on Facebook. They've been using Facebook for abuses of kids of all kinds of natures, including medical juxtaposed. They have some sick fake medical people. You're supposed to provide people lawyers. They don't provide people lawyers, and when they do provide people lawyers, they have that criminal. They have all exceptions. They have those lawyers in collusion with them. Delusions raw, criminally foreign influence, criminal readings of statutes where they give, so you have to get them out the paper so you can see this. They don't follow paper. They have federal judges with Fox News pretending they follow rules and present paper. Since I was a kid, I was asking for paper to respond to, and they don't do it. They have all kinds of criminal narratives, stacking more and more people and sensibilities to their federal crimes. Way worse than war crimes, when you'll see. Real simple crimes. See criminal insidiousness. Look up criminal insidiousness. Now, so we're going to call this lawyer again. There's a Trantolo and Trantolo. Also, the ad companies and Aiello Home Services is also with a whole bunch of people tied to them like a former Mayor Gold. And there are other mayors and people involved with elections that are involved with the Faenza family on off the state judicial branch offices, with them faking things with their area crimes and on off campuses, and with black and white leaders, even female leader judges, black and white crimes with child offenders, and with KKK Confederate flag team predicate acts clicks with military, foreign and domestic involved. So follow mandated law for them because they don't let you talk when you go into courts. Not honestly either. Not for the reasons they pretend. That's what's actually recorded. So follow mandated law for them and have them stop doing cases now. We need federal stewardships of Connecticut. Hold on now. We're gonna call this Trantolo and Trantolo again. I called them once. They pretend they they do a crime method where they force everyone to speak through other people, and then everyone makes Anthony he made a conspiracy theory. Now what facts? You're making up fake transcripts. I didn't make an opinion about anything. Everything I said is dead cold real more than them. These are people involved with child sex offenders and with body dumping spots with the same criminally involved people at the same time. They brought them all in at once with my new and past neighbors with this Dillon family too. I don't even know my new neighbors' names. Have them involved with Anna Dillon, Sean Dillon, Kevin Dillon, involved with them with predicate acts through time and with the principal child sex offenders campus. Further, per them. Now they're also threatening me not to say things criminally. So we're going to have free speech, and we're going to have the people that can't defend free speech now, which is actually recorded, demonstrated how they're pretending other things are recorded. And we should sue them, man. We're going to sue them. We're going to have the attorney general. They should be saying, they should be begging him right now rather than playing games like this because they're not going to get away with it. They're going down. They're not going to keep doing cases because they're worthless. I asked you 50,000 times, fix the fake predicate acts of WFSB and our Fox Connecticut News. And then now them lying about people's behavior afterwards. Now they have the sense and sensibilities of YouTube and of Fox and of Facebook involved with them with fake Facebook pages, fake YouTube pages pretending to be me, pretending to be others, while they're stacking such natures of organized crime and wrongdoing, predicate acts, sequence shifts, names forging and switching. They use the crime method of switching names inter-brnach and making confessions, and then using that time to put fake words, fake responses to their confessions about falsified police reports. They have falsified police reports from a whole bunch of different towns of police, types of police, with the same falsified, with the same arrest that started with a promise to appear, handed to me through someone else note. So they keep saying, we made mistakes. They made a lot of people make mistakes as falsified police reports rolls. So we're going to have a response for this. You call up the police department there to put me in a fake communications on the police report grounds, which never was at all with the older police brother of a Mendez police brother, involved with a whole bunch of people on off Fox Connecticut News in Hartford. This is Wethersfield police. Now, these are people also on off the New Britain Superior Court with this Mendez family. A whole bunch of people tied to them. With this Kerr family. With this officer, Jerry Miller. Also recorded with them with crimes with the Witness Protection Program and with the stewards of the Witness Protection Program and with other FBI and CIA associated with Wethersfield. And like a Scalora family, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with predicate acts with Wethersfield police. Identity thefts, fake ties to me. They didn't have a class with me, never went to my school. Other cousins of my neighbor also pretended other with them, with these two Mendez police, with the various intercities locations involved with people with identity thefts, including military, little creepy punks. You're gonna get a response from me too for the military. I told you it's gonna get. I want all these names. I want the well, let's get the media. None of the people follow mandated law. That's why mandated law says you follow when someone reports child abuse. You be honest. You don't hide that. I don't care who they're being coached. I think it's 999 Let's call these punks. Literally. Let's watch.
This call may be monitored and recorded.
So these media is already involved with wire crimes. I think this is WTNH. On off, New Haven FBI is also involved with database crimes with them live progressions from it used.
Trantolo and Trantolo, Charlene speaking. How may I direct your call?
Hello, Trantolo and Trantolo. There are people involved with the media you guys have been putting ad placements on that are further involved with the principal child offenders campus and with my town's police chief's daughter and her extended family member, a whole bunch of federal criminals, falsified police reports, people switching names, forging names, and then so they said Trantolo and Trantolo said that I made conspiracy theories. Now these are people that have been criminally preventing me writing to respond to, forging names, switching names, attaching me, little kids, their family members, my family members, to fake locations, fake words, fake ties to people. They have fake Facebook pages pretending to be me. So could I have a response why he didn't follow mandated law and give me a response for the courts forging names, switching names, and why they hid this?
You're doing a lot. So just tell me why you're calling first.
Well, the mandated law says when someone tries to report rape, like in other words, there were rape threats, and people made confessions about their roles with Wethersfield Police with the principal's child offender before that was caught. Now he's in prison.
What are you looking for us to do? That's what I need to know.
Well, he asked me. He said I made conspiracy theories. I had a very short conversation about specific acts.
Referring to?
I don't know. You're lawyers. And now these are the people with the ad companies you guys have been putting ads through. They have the lawyer involved. You guys have obligations to follow mandated law, and to get me to stop forging names, switching names, and furthering.
I'm gonna hang up now because I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay.
I'm talking about the people. Trantolo and Trantolo made conspiracy theories, and they pretend I made conspiracy theories.
You're calling me, yeah, but you don't even know who you're talking about.
I'm talking about the principal child offenders campus.
Okay, but what does that have to do with us?
It was recorded, confessed, and demonstrated that the media attached me to fake words, fake locations, and fake ties to other people.
The way you're speaking, I'm not understanding anything you're saying. When you're telling me something's fake, I have no clue.
They attached me to fake words. They that weren't at all. They attached me to a fake location that wasn't at all.
Okay, but you're not giving me anyone's names. I don't know.
No, the WFSB, Fox Connecticut News, WTNH.
Okay, so you have an issue with the news people.
And Trantolo and Trantolo are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them, as well as other ad companies that are involved with the child offenders.
The other people call because there's a lot of people that use them. That's a long list of calling you're gonna do.
The mandated law is that when someone reports child abuse, you guys are supposed to report it. You're not supposed to make up theories and attach me to fake words, and then describe my.
Doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. What you're saying is not making any sense. I understand you're talking about a law, but are you trying to say that?
See, this is what I'm saying. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. There were rape threats. There were confessions from a child sex offender before he got caught. That's very simple. That's very simple. I caught them abusing kids. That's very simple. You understand that. My name is Anthony Wall, and I want a response.
I'm saying Anthony Wall, and I have your phone number, but you're calling here and you're just like, you're telling me a whole bunch of stuff at once, but I don't understand what you're looking for me to do. Did you want me to put you through to someone? Did you have a question about something? You're telling me about a law. I understand that part, but I don't know what
I'm not telling you about law. I'm talking about mandated law. That's what the lawyer said. That's what you guys for. You guys making up laws just because you're a lawyer?
to do, Anthony Wall.
I want a response. I want a person to counter. I can't get a response because they're forging and switching names. They are switching names, and they have you, coach, to make conspiracy theories, pretend you don't understand me. It's very simple. I want a response for the people forging, switching names, and criminal uses of the media. Attach me to fake words with this Trantolo and Trantolo, and with you, pretending you don't understand. Rape threats are rape threats. confessions about abuses of kids when they were forcing child offenders. That's very simple. You understand that?
What's your address?
60 Carriage Hill Drive. Also, officers forging, switching names come to my house. They need to pick a name and respond on paper.
You what?
They're switching names when they come to my house, and they won't give paper because they're caught with the police chief's daughter also. So I need them to respond on writing, and I need a response why they didn't respond on writing.
Your address.
60 Carriage Hill Drive.
Spell it for me.
Carriage.
Okay, Carriage.
Yes.
Did you say Carriage Hill Drive?
Carriage like a shopping carriage, and then hill like HILLDRIVE. So please understand, as like if you, I don't know if you're a mother, but if you, how would you feel if a little kids in your family were abused by this way, such insidiously around the prosecutor's kids and the police chief's kids involved with it, with proven child offender.
Live in Anthony.
Wethersfield.
Wethersfield?
Yes.
What's the zip code?
06109.
06109. Okay.
So can you tell me how I could, I've been trying to get a response in writing for years. These are people involved with other natures of organized crime actions before the World Trade Center. People made confessions to me about courts. I tried to report it. It turned out to be people, co-defendants of former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and in a 2006 case, also criminally involved in Connecticut, and with the Ninth Circuit Court right next to the World Trade Center right before it was hit. So it's not just child abuse. There are other natures of bad people and things are going on here with the identity thefts too. They attach me to fake words. That's why it's so important, the fake words.
Got your address. So it's 60 Carriage Hill Drive in Wethersfield, and it's 06109, and it's Anthony Wall, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I got that.
So what should I do now?
You said that you wanted somebody to send you a letter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
So when I get their letter, then that's the first time I'll have something to respond to. So Fox Connecticut News, make sure you explain you confess, and you say sorry to Judge Napolitano with Fox News National. And these are the same people with CNN is also involved with this lawyer office, Trantolo and Trantolo. Whole bunch of people tied to them, with the people from Washington D.C. and World Trade Center tied to my area. And it's nothing personal against them. When you say how I don't understand you, I don't understand you. These are the people that made rape threats on Facebook. They use the Facebook page Facebook page stewards of New Britain Superior Court for this, while the principal that's two or three towns over, depending on how you look at it, and as the ones involved with the child campuses of my town through time. I had to write a complaint against a judge who attached me to fake locations and ties to people when I was a kid, and there are roles with that when I was a kid, with retired and standing judges and prosecutors further involved with the dozens from my town involved with New Britain Superior Court alone, criminally involved, and with Hartford courts, leading up to the World Trade Center attack, involved with a pattern of confessions to me from people tied to them, and recorded predicate acts roles with them, leading up to the World Trade Center attack, as the ones since hiding the lie progressions tied to that, because there were depositions associated with former director of the FBI and his defendant capacities. He was a defendant with a whole bunch of federal criminal co-defendants, 3 of them that are involved with a whole bunch of people from my town who went to my schools, who are involved with identity thefts, frauds, switching sequences, slanders, attaching me to fake conversations with them, fake ties to them, all exceptions criminally exploited, used to pretend other. In other words, used to further those illusions. They've been using, quote, the right to lie. James Comey, Robert Mueller also recorded involved criminally here, because Robert Luskin was the former director of the FBI, former standing chairperson on RICO statute, Racketeering Influence on Corrupt Organization Act, since before then. So respond to them for them. Various natures of Connecticut courts and on-office state judicial branch officers criminally involved. Respond for them online too, because they make fake transcripts. Online they can't do that. That's why they push people to block people. They have illusions they have to hide with locations, areas, and states. So YouTubers don't understand why there's so much hate on their channels. It's tied to this. Everyone's missed since founding. Pounding drums. They are fake positive, fake righteous and negative, like fake righteous justice. Justice alone is negative value nature. Anything discernible is negative value nature that is not simultaneous nature. So this is not complicated. They have the Facebook pages of New Britain Superior Court with a K-N-E-R-R as the last name, and Eric Kerr and Mike Kerr. Now there's also a Kerr family, K-E-R-R, with a Jerry Kerr and with a Mike Kerr and with another Jerry Kerr. I forgot his mother's name. She's also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with insurance companies and with police firms associated with them. So then they get the sense and sensibilities. Everyone's sick fakes. Now they have these lawyers. They pretend they can talk and stuff like that. The only reason they're getting away with being cheap, fake. So let's say this. We'll give me a response. Let's respond here. No one cares about abuses of children. No one cares about that, especially in prisons. The people don't like child offenders in prison. These are people that run prisons involved with the houses on my area, involved with Sandy Hook, also with the Soto family, is tied to them, involved with them with organized crime. But they don't know. I don't know the Soto family. The people tied to them made it look. They pretended they know me, or implied they did, because their roles at the end of the Berlin Turnpike with people at the involved with various natures of courts and their family members, people and the family members of people that work for them, with predicate acts on the Goodwin golf course, across the street from it, in that place right at the end of where the forks at the end of the Berlin Turnpike, that gravestone place. There's a Stephen Alexander, and he's also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with male and female state police and their family members, further involved with predicate acts, falsified police reports, and with child offenders, and with doctors, foreign and domestic, with untimely deaths that brought that up. One of the untimely deaths was on Trinity College. So you can't get into all the stuff with everyone acting like they don't understand things. Get them right now onto paper. They better hope that I get paper so to respond to. Then you watch. I'm going to delineate their delusions from their criminal foreign influence souls for you since founding. Pounding drums. You think these are means?